Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anne Mbale. I'm the program manager for the St. Louis Mosaic Project. Welcome to our July STL 101, a discussion with community leaders serving young immigrants. If this is your first time to attend our STL 101, welcome. These are monthly events that bring St. Louisians and foreign-born people to connect, socialize, and learn. These events are normally in person, but because we realize it's summer, this time we're doing it virtual. We'll be back in person in August. Just a few housekeeping rules to let you know about. All participants will be muted for the duration of the presentation. However, if you wish to ask questions, please do so using the Q&A button on the bottom of the screen. We'll do our best to get those questions at the end of the discussion. The slides and the recording for the presentations will be available a few days after the webinar is completed. Before we go into the presentations, I wanted to just share a little bit about Mosaic Project. If this is your first time to join us, my apologies about that. I need to go back. So if this is your first time, the St. Louis Mosaic Project was started in 2012 after a study was done, and they found out that St. Louis was lagging behind as far as, like foreign-born population was concerned, but also cities which are similar to St. Louis were doing so much better economically. And one of the reasons was that, like their foreign-born population was helping with the economy of those cities. So Mosaic was started that time to help bring in and attract and retain immigrants in St. Louis. We are part, I think I'm missing a slide there. We are part of the St. Louis Economic Development Partnership and the World Trade Center St. Louis. So we are the international arm for the Economic Development Partnership of St. Louis. We are the people side of the World Trade Center. That's what we call ourselves. And there's the trade side and the FDI sides. The Mosaic goal is to maintain St. Louis as the fastest growing major metro for immigration through 2030. We are continuing to drive initiatives to expand and retain global talent pool as one of the cornerstone for regional economic and cash flow growth. And I'll get to that later, but you see we're saying maintaining is because St. Louis became the fastest growing for foreign-born population. Last year, we celebrated that in September. One of the things that we do is to welcome immigrants to St. Louis. So we are not a service provider like the International Institute. We are more like the welcoming wagon, as Suzanne said. So we welcome company transfers, international students, entrepreneurs, refugees, and family members, and point them to different resources. We want to continue attracting foreign-born and, retaining them, because, like you can do the attraction, but if you're not retaining them, there's no point. So like I mentioned, we were leading on foreign-born population last year, and we celebrated that, which was a big, big milestone, because when Mosaic was started, the goal was by 2020 to attract as many foreign-born. I think it was 20,000 if I remember correctly, foreign-born. So it was good to celebrate that. I just wanted to share this one slide today. I might say I can send this PowerPoint if anybody wants it, but we had our steering committee meeting, and one of the things that Nace from SLU shared, who is a demographer, I'm sure you're familiar with the name, was that St. Louis and like many other places is aging, and if I remember correctly, the immigrant population that is coming to America or to St. Louis in general, they are young, and therefore they are helping with the talent pool and in many ways that we can do in the economy of St. Louis. So I wanted to just share this slide to just show you that, like immigrants are helping in so many ways to help St. Louis grow as much as, St. Louis is aging in the population. Speaking of that, that's why the topic of today is very important, that we bring in some of the leaders in St. Louis, even if the organization that do so many other things, but they are working so hard to help young immigrants find resources, empower them and support them so that they can be successful in the St. Louis region. Speaking of that, I think I'll hand over to Christian because he'll be the one to first speak from the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the Hispanic community, to give you a little bit of what he has. Christian, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm just getting ready to share. All right, so St. Louis has historically been very much a migrant city ever since it was established and its founding. So it's been historically a city for young immigrants. We see that a lot in the manufacturing aspect back in the late late 19th century, early 20th century, us being historically the biggest manufacturer of shoes. And that's where a lot of these abandoned buildings are from a lot of the old manufacturing. And we just start seeing the population decrease over time during the 60s and the 80s was the beginning of it. But I'm not going to sit here and focus on the history of St. Louis as much as I'm fascinated by it. So a little bit of my background. I was born in St. Louis. I moved to Mexico at the age of 1, and then I returned back for my education at 5. I also lived in the Illinois area, the Granite City area, and the Fairmont area as well for about 5 years. So I'm quite familiar with both sides of the river and their various needs. I have a military background. I'm still currently enlisted in the military.
Christian, sorry to bother you. Can you turn on your camera? It's off, I think.
Yeah, certainly. There we go. I have a associate's degree in business administration with a minor in accounting from St. Louis Community College. I'm currently pursuing 2 bachelors right now at the moment in information systems management with a minor in finance and the other one in supply chain management as I have a background in logistics. I got involved with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce back in as of 2022. Now, Jóvenes Profesionales was actually started way back as of 2019, prior to the pandemic, by a good friend of mine named Ricardo Martinez. By 2022, Jóvenes Profesionales would become an initiative under the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Currently, we have a full board, and we are at 40 members at this moment. We constantly collaborate with a lot of other young Hispanic, well, other or young professional organizations here in the St. Louis area, most notably SHIP, which stands for the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. And I'll go over those other young professional organizations are in St. Louis. We actually have quite a good amount here, surprisingly, that are relatively unknown to our young professionals here in St. Louis. And I just try to do my best when it comes to getting these organizations recognized by other young professionals that I come across. So the Hispanic community in St. Louis, according to NPR, is nearly at 110,400 people in the metropolitan area. A good amount would live in the Bridgeton area as well as the South City / South County. We also have a good amount over in the St. Charles area, and we actually Fairmont City has the second highest population of Latinos in a concentrated area, second to that of Chicago, and we also have some over in the Granite area as well. Initiatives in the Hispanic communities are huge highlights are STL Para Ti, which is actually under the St. Louis Mosaic Project, the Hispanic Leaders Group, which focuses on the advocacy and the civil engagement of the Hispanic community here in St. Louis. I know recently they've been trying to get voting efforts within the Hispanic community and trying to get them educated on their civil rights, as well as trying to get them to go out and vote. And also, they also play a huge key role when it comes to the Hispanic Scholarship Alliance, getting the various organizations within the Hispanic community to unite and getting that scholarship money so young Hispanic kids can go and pursue higher education, which is a huge barrier within the community here. And as well as the Latino Roundtable, which is an organization over in Fairmont City that is very involved within the city and trying to get them the resources they need, whether it be their annual health fair prior to school, their back to school, where they get school supplies towards to elementary students and as well as very other community events for the locals there. And the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Foundation, which the foundation under the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce plays a key role when it comes to assisting startups through their startup boot camp, and I know as well as professionals through the through their HLI program, their Hispanic Leadership Institution program. I know their main target audience with that is people that are either in their entry to mid-level careers and trying to get by sending them workshops through emotional intelligence, financial literacy, and other various workshops. It's been a key role when it comes to a lot of the Hispanic professionals here in the St. Louis region when it comes to trying to get them established and trying to get them ahead in their careers. They also have one for high school students as well, which has been a key role in trying to get a lot of the young, trying to mold a lot of the future Hispanic leaders here in the St. Louis area as well. Resources and the community for young people here in St. Louis. Business resources are Cortex with their Square One for early entrepreneurs, We Power for equity for entrepreneurs. We also have I-10 for tech startups, and then Archtrans for growth stage startups, STL Foodworks for business incubators, and then Brick City Makes for manufacturing and business manufacturers here in the St. Louis area. So we have quite a lot of business resources here in St. Louis for immigrants, considering that a lot of immigrants are very entrepreneur when they come here. And then resources in the St. Louis area for young people. We have a lot of those networking organizations here in St. Louis. Some of them we've collaborated with here through Jóvenes Profesionales, Young Professionals Network under the Regional Business Council. We have not collaborated with them, but we plan on to. I know they're a key player here in the St. Louis area. The Muni and Friends, we've collaborated with them. I know it's a group that likes to network prior to a Muni show here over at the Forest Park area. And then the St. Louis Art Museum, I forgot what their name is, their organization, but we've collaborated with them before and it's been a great time. We've enjoyed collaborating with them in the past. Young Professionals under the Urban League as well is another huge organization here in the St. Louis area that assists those. And the St. Louis Young Professionals, Young Ambassadors, I know their emphasis is mainly towards giving back to the community through volunteers. So they collaborate with a lot of nonprofits on a monthly basis, and they go out and volunteer and play a huge role when it comes to helping out nonprofits or just underutilized areas that need the assistance they can. And I forgot one here as well, but vet working is a huge one. Vet working, from what I've experienced and I've attended, is a networking event for veterans here in the St. Louis area to help them either transition, to either help recruit veterans, and to programs, or whether it be to get them into the workforce. They played a huge key role. I've personally attended some other events, and I've noticed it's a lot of people, it's a lot of young veterans in their early to mid 20s who just recently are transitioning out the military and they're looking for their next opportunity, or they're just looking to hopefully try and get established in the St. Louis area. And I know that's played a key role when it comes to a lot of our St. Louis veterans here in the area as well. And yeah, I guess I'll pass this over to Jeff as of right now.
Thank you so much, Christian.
No problem.
And don't forget to put your questions in the Q&A part, and we'll get to them at the end. Jeff, it's your turn.
All right, thank you so much. That was a very good presentation. A great work that you're doing, Cristiano. Okay, let's go ahead and do the presentation.
Got it?
I just got it here. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, my name is Jeffrey Sayentet. I am the Executive Director of Tender for Africa. We work with immigrants and refugees here in St. Louis, connecting them to different resources and opportunity. And one of the programs that we are proud of working here in St. Louis is actually a youth empowerment program. In Africa, proverb there's a proverb that says it takes a village to raise a child, and the child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. And that's the reason we believe that in the next couple of years, the young people that we're dealing with, they'll be in charge of what region. They will be the one leaders leading our community. And if we don't invest in them very well, then we may not be able to get the community, a society or growing community, because they are the one who will be able to take over. Some of the programs that we do in Vitendo for Africa is we are committing equipping immigrants with tools that they need to thrive through mentorship, mental health awareness, leadership development. Through leadership development, workshop, and community engagement, we empower youth to take initiative, build resilience, and become change makers in our communities. The program includes mentorship program, college readiness, job readiness, teen mental health first aid, traction, that is teen taking action to prevent crashes. And all this has a direct impact in the society, later today or in the life, the years to come. The picture you see right here will come back and you'll see how this was taken 10 years ago, but you'll see some of those kids, what they're doing at the end. On mentorship program, we equip immigrants and refugee youth with the necessary tools and social skills to be successful and a positive influence in their homes, schools, and in the community. The goal of the program is to establish an informal, trusting relationship between the adults and young adult volunteers and our high school or college students, so that they can mutually benefit from the program. This program's activity includes college tour, SAT prep, leadership development, job readiness, international trips, and youth mentorship. One of the international trips that we're doing, it's going to be coming up, I think, next year. But we'll share more about that. College readiness. This includes the college tours and visit, and that helps our students to explore academic experience, campus life, and envision their future pathway. Just being in the college really helps to see them, seeing themselves in the future. Some of the pictures you see here, this Washington University. This is last year, and we've done also college visit. This is the Ohio State University, and we have also did Boston, and most of the students have ended up getting into those colleges after the trip. Our current partners include Washington University with a program called ZINASH, AMSO, there's an AMSO Bridge program, Missouri S&T. Right now, there's a group of high schools that are at Mizzou this week. At Missouri S&T this week. Mizzou, there is a Bridging Gaps and Inspiration Futures. We started that partnership with them this year. Maryville, this week, we have a group going for coding camp this week. Boston University, it's Ohio State. Truman, we just had a group that just finished a program there, and Truman Healthcare Academy. Access Point, LEDA, Thrive, Scholars, and many more. All this helps our young people to be ready for the job market. We do virtual college access. This helps people to, those who are not able to do in person, and just inviting our professionals and college admission from different colleges to join us in virtual forums. That also helps to open up that opportunity to students who are outside St. Louis. So we're able to connect now with students from more than, 7 states right now, groups from 7 states that are able to participate. We do SAT prep and college application. On youth leadership development, we have established strong relationship with a wide range of organizations that are committed to shaping Missouri future leaders. Through this collaboration, V4A connects young people with programs that build leadership skills, career readiness, civic engagement, and personal growth. I will have I just highlight a few of them that include Focus Youth St. Louis, Boys and Girls Club of Greater St. Louis. Right now, we have quite a number of students that have gone through the program, and now they are working, including the City Hall right now, and a couple of banks that have also recruited a bunch of our students. MU Extension through YEP program, STL Youth Jobs, Youth Bridge Community Foundation, STL Changemakers. I think this is a nice program that have really helped our young people to see St. Louis in a bigger perspective, but also looking at different ways that they can help to change and impact the community. American Legion Auxiliary, this is Missouri Girls State, and I'll mention something about that has happened in the last 2 years. Right now, we have a program, peer-to-peer health program that is led by our young people. They are actually in the community right now. The project they are working on is creating awareness on diabetics and blood pressure among the African community. They're doing a research project. Hopefully they can get it done by the end of the summer. And then enrichment activities that include soccer, chess, robotics, and African performing drum. That has helped also them to develop some leadership. Job readiness, we believe that empowering young people and preparing them for lifelong success, not just for academic, but for the workforce. And I think this is the biggest wish for every employer, that when you're recruiting and hiring somebody, you're able to help to hire somebody who will be able to deliver. And through our programs, we help them with resume writing, professional communications, interview skills, and workplace etiquette, financial literacy, money management, career explorations, internship placement, soft skills. And we are lucky to have St. Louis Mosaic Project through their Professional Connector program that have helped a lot of young people, but also the immigrants new who are settling in St. Louis. But also we have a great partnership with the Africa Chamber of Commerce. Teen mental health is actually very important if we really have to help the good people who can be able to be ready for the job market. And this is helping the immigrants by addressing mental health challenges through mental health first aid training for mostly between the age of 14 to 18. And with the partnership with Prevent Ed, we have already trained more than 100 young people. And we believe those people would now be the change makers and helping other young people in the community. Mental health is a big challenge right now, just not for our community, but as a country. But if we're able to equip young people with the right tools and help them find a way to help each other, I believe we'll be able to have a very strong and healthy community. Traction, like I mentioned, we have been working with Department of Transport for the last 4 years. And this has helped many of them create awareness in their schools and in the community, but also helping reach out to the people who cannot speak English. And their biggest message is very simple: buckle up, phone down, slow down, drive sober, and you prioritize mental health. This is because many young people are the ones who are involved in the accidents on the road or the crashes. But if we have them championing that, it's going to help them a lot. They are also the champion of Missouri Show Miss Spirit Award, which they received last year. We'll share some successes from our program. That includes highs of 100% of our student graduation rate among the mentees. Many of them have received a lot of scholarship. At least we average 6 to 8 or more full-ride scholarship every year. Many of them have taken leadership roles in their schools and the community. Student council, we have many of them even taking up as school presidents. Youth board members, that include the mental health board, advisory board. And I think this year we had 2 of our students actually being selected to be the student speaker at their school graduation, which was a great achievement. Community engagement, the mentees actively participate in community service, advocacy, and civic engagement, especially during the voter registration And also during the census, many of our students are actually engaged in the community. Then we have that impact on their personal growth and confidence to believe in themselves, self-esteem, and knowing who they are. The sense of identity is very important if you're actually building a good leaders. I would say other success include, like I mentioned, this year, one of our students was selected among the 5 in the top country and was able to go to DC for a whole week. And now she's making a big impact just here in St. Louis. She's the first one to be selected in Missouri. 2 weeks ago, American Legion Auxiliary, one of our students was selected as Attorney General. It's a big event that they normally do at Lindenwood. And this is the second year two our students were selected to be on those top leadership positions. Missouri Show Me Service Award, they select 8 young students in the state. And so far, we have had 4 of our students being selected in there, at least 2 in every year. That's a high number, high representation that they are able to go and represent us. Other programs that has very competitive, that are nationwide competitive programs, including LEDA. That was Kimberly, and a year before, and this year we had Wendy, and they all have now gone to receive full scholarship there at Washington University on a full ride. Stephanie also did a program with American Student Leaders, Bank of America. She's actually got a college. She's a student at Johns Hopkins, just graduated, but also pursuing her master's there. And after graduation, she hopes to work in international development in Kenya, focusing on expanding infrastructure projects, promoting workforce development. That is a great success. The other part is about Thrive Scholars. This is an organization that helps high achieving and underrepresented students from an economically disadvantaged community to get into college, especially Ivy League college. Frank is right now, he's actually in Boston. They go to Princeton, they go to Harvard, they do all those programs. And it's been there for the whole of this summer. I'm so proud of the achievement. And that is it. As far as
timing, because I was about to tell you time, Jeffrey.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, that was really good. Thank you so much. And the next presenter we have is Lina, who also has a PowerPoint, I believe, and we'll go to Shukriya. Lina, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, my screen is visible. Wonderful. Is my screen visible properly?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Lina Chaudhary. I'm the founder of Placement Expert USA. Today, I'm speaking on behalf of the company as a founder, as well as also representing the Asian American Chamber of Commerce. I'm currently one of the board members and also serve on some of the executive committees for the chamber. First part of my presentation is going to be about what we do as a staffing and digital marketing services. And then the later part, I'll talk a little bit about how being an Asian American, I've connected to my roots, and also being part of the Asian American Chamber has not only helped me expand my circle and business opportunities, but also helped me stay connected to my Asian American roots. Thank you. So this is just a quick rundown of what we'll be discussing today. So Placement Expert USA, it's a staffing agency, which is minority women-owned business. And we serve a broad range of companies, industries that we collaborate. The company was started in 2018. And since then, we started working with manufacturing company, and then we expanded into IT consulting, and now we also do some digital marketing. The next step for us is, to get into the government contracting space. So me and my team are working into that. In terms of the roles we fill, we are pretty generic, but mainly administrative, operational, sales roles across different industries. So our method since beginning has been that we are a boutique staffing agency. So we like to work one-on-one and have those relations with both the companies, and that way we are able to understand the culture of the company. And thus, when our recruiters go out there trying to find the right fit, that really helps us because we understand the company, and that way when we are doing those initial interviews with the job seekers, then we know whether this person would be a good fit or not. Our turnaround time is usually 2 to 4 weeks to fill any roles. And our team is made up of different roles of recruiters, digital marketers, consultants. And also, I'm always really grateful for all the nonprofit organizations that support, in addition to the St. Louis Mosaic Project and also the World Trade Center. So with that said, as we started from a small company and we are growing, we have seen that in the St. Louis region, the talent pool is growing, especially COVID time, and then later, suddenly there was an influx of more people in the region who were looking for jobs and who came with different skill sets. Also, COVID time, a lot of the job seekers also thought of pivoting. So that gave us an opportunity to tap into different talent pools and then start to build our pipeline of job seekers. So I'm really glad that I've had the opportunity to work with different different job seekers, and then currently, so we do have a great robust pipeline of job seekers across different areas. But in addition to that, we're always open to supporting any new job seeker out there who's looking for help. In St. Louis, there are many different organizations that support as well. They're nonprofit and they do great job in just mentoring and connecting them with others who may be, like staffing companies, or they may be community leaders. So now this part of my presentation is more about the Asian American Chamber. The chamber started in about 2012, and since then I've been part of that chambers in one way or another. Initially, I was invited to become part of that, just for an opportunity to publicize my business out there. But then as I started to connect with the members there, I learned more about that. They were also growing, and they were also not just relate. When I say Asian American Chamber, it was not just like Indian or maybe Chinese or Japanese. They were a collaborative chamber of all different nations from the Asian continent. So it was unique. And then over the years, I've had wonderful opportunities to serve in many different capacities with the chamber. But as we are growing right now, we have started to do a lot of outreach and a lot of events for the chamber. So that has really helped increase our membership base. You can always go to the website, aaccstl.org, and learn more about the chamber and the events. They have happy hour almost every month, which is free to attend, or you could, if you, yes, I think it's free to attend if you are endorsed by ambassador. And I'm one of the ambassadors, so if you do want to attend next time, do let me know. We also have one annual connections dinner every year. So if you are interested in registering for that, information will be again on the website as well. We also have different membership levels, right from student membership that starts at $50 all the way up to, I think, $500 level. And then there are different sponsorship levels as well. So that's more about Chamber. I encourage you to go to the website to learn more about them. I also wanted to, because Annie had mentioned that there would be a diverse population of attendees today. I wanted to share that this slide, which is more talks about how the Asian Americans are represented in the community of St. Louis and the greater Midwest region. So as you can see here, that 55% of the AAPI population lives in St. Louis County. And this was a very recent study that was done by the AACC STL. You should, when I came here about a decade back, I felt like I was the only one. But then eventually I see more and more people, not just from India, but also the Asian American communities. And these numbers are what represents here. With that said, the study also looked about what is the demographic of what do they bring on the table. That's what all the decision makers want to see, that if they are inviting any kind of immigrant community, what do they bring. So it was found that we are more family oriented, education wise, and then worked across many different industries, not just engineering jobs, but also medical field, hospitals, and restaurants. These 3 or 4 industries are heavily dominated by the immigrant population. So, as I understand, and being in the recruiting and staffing space now for more than 6 years, I've come across many different companies and employers and also universities. And right now, I think in St. Louis region, across the wonderful universities that we have at least 5,000 international students. I'm very passionate about the international students, because they leave their country, come here to study, and then they have that dream, the American dream that they want to stay here and then build a family here and grow their careers. So based on that, I've just gathered some of these bullet points. I think Annie can share more of this information later as well with the group. But really, some of the things that universities can do is, each university has their own career advising office, but often they cater to the entire university. And sometimes these international students, they have unique needs. And having some outside consulting companies or staffing agencies to come in as a additional support to work with these students will really help them. I come across in different nonprofit organizations that I'm part of, these students who sometimes need assistance, just basic as much as cleaning up their resume or even LinkedIn profiles. And then they might be applying jobs through the job boards to thousands of jobs, but then they never hear back. So they do some things along the way, some mistakes that ends up not getting a job offer or anywhere, from first stage to at least getting an interview. So these are some of the points, but again, happy to have more conversation on that. As far as the employers are concerned, again, this is more related to the international students cause. A lot of times I've seen that when I talk to, and I have I'm great friends with some of the HRs in some of the companies. A lot of times they don't understand whether these international students who hold a valid and legal CPT, OPT, can they hire them? Most of the employee retention anyways is 2 years. Anyone who has a CPT, OPT and graduates from an American university can stay in a job for at least 2 to 3 years with this valid work visa and student status. In addition to that, they're very hardworking. So I hope some of these points that the companies can look at, and I'm always looking forward to have more conversation in understanding how we can support further. These are some of our sponsors, and there's definitely many more. I personally have had the privilege of working with so many mentors as well, and so many other organizations who have always lent a hand in helping me understand how to grow the business, how to network, and so much more. So I'm always grateful for that. with that said, this is some of the information that you can follow, you can find about my company here, Placement Expert USA. I'm also an author, and recently I also launched a podcast, again with the partnership of AACC STL. So all that information is on the link tree. With that, I'm open to any questions you may have. Thank you once again, Annie, for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lina. And our last speaker, who does not have a PowerPoint, but I thought that I should share what she and her friend started. She is here. Shukri, are you here? She is gonna talk about international teen networking in a nutshell. Shukri, I have the floor. Shukriya, we can't hear you if you're talking. I know she's here, but I just can't hear her. Shukriya, are you here? I don't know if she's having.
It's there, but I think it looks like her mic is not working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe Shirley, you can click that audio and do it again. Sometimes it has that problem. The audio part, and just click and do it
Yeah, but
again.
we can't hear. She said she can hear us, but we can't hear you.
Yeah, we can hear.
And we can't see you either, but I see that your video is on, so I don't know what's going on. If anybody
I
have,
can see.
while she tried to fix that, if anybody has any questions, please put them in the Q&A, and I can even enable you to talk. I see a question here while we wait for Shukriya. Somebody asked, hey, Annie, can you please share the recording? I missed a bit of the beginning. Yes, we'll make sure that the recording is available on our YouTube channels within maybe on Friday, by Friday, I should say by Friday, not on Friday. We'll send it to you, and the PowerPoint slides will be sent to everybody as well. Anybody else have any questions while Shukri is trying to fix her mic? So while we wait for Shukriya, this is open to any of you, the speakers today. What I noticed that most of you have been already working with a lot of our partners here in St. Louis, which is great. But how can the Mosaic ambassadors, who is the majority of the people here, help to work with you guys? How can they best help? Anybody can start answering that question. Jeffrey or Krishan or yeah.
Yes, I think for me, the way I would say is first, anybody who is in Mosaic ambassador, I think that's a big plus, and I think I give them a kudos for them. Building a sense of community is very important if we want to really retain and attract and retain foreign-born populations. And the most effective way to do that is actually when there's environment at the school, at the workplace, they really recognize that the presence of the foreign populations. I've seen some organization or companies host multicultural potluck. I have seen others just put some different flags at the events. I have seen when they having new members of in the staff from different country organizing something that really makes them feel like, I mean, they recognize their nationality, they recognize where they're coming from, because that makes the other members or the other staff to really embrace them and have them feel like they're part of it. Schools have done a multicultural night, diversity night, passport night. Those helps also for everybody who are from foreigners to feel like they're welcome. Like over the weekend, we had the elderman from Bolui, and he joined the Kenyan community when they are celebrating their culture night. Coming together. I think just those little things that really help people to see they are welcome. The people recognize who they are really helps people to feel like they want to be part of this and they want to stay here.
To add off what Jeff said, yeah, building that community is key because, people always want a sense of belonging, a sense of community, and a sense of being a part of something. So building a community is very much key. The hard part is just going out and finding your target audience. One thing that I know that helped out a lot is collaborating a lot with already existing organizations here in the St. Louis area, as well as reaching out to places that most people wouldn't think of. A key place that we got a lot of our members from when starting up was university students, believe it or not, because university students, if we want to retain young talent here in St. Louis, a great way is through university students. And a lot of these university students that are actually involved on their campus that have for example, I know there's a Muslim student union over in various of the university campuses, St. Louis University, UMSL, Washington University, even here at the St. Louis Community College. They are, and they're always eager to get involved with a lot of the other Muslim organizations here in the St. Louis area as well. Even here with the Hispanic community, there are a lot of the Hispanic student undergrad organizations always are eager to get involved and see where they can assist established organizations here in St. Louis when it comes to the Hispanic community and furthering progress within the St. Louis area, let alone the state of Missouri. So yeah, that would be, I guess, my 2 cents in that.
Thank you. I have a question here from Maya. Says, this is to Miss Lina. Is your recruitment company centered to international students only or immigrants in general? For example, green card holders, refugees, or asylum seekers?
Yes. So we have worked with asylum seekers and also refugees as well. In fact, last year we were able to make at least 7 placements with the restaurant chain here in St. Louis and also in Kansas City. But apart from that, we work with pretty much all job seekers, citizens, as well as newly arrived immigrants and international students. And to
Hello,
add
can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
we
I'm so
can
sorry.
hear
I
you.
had I logged in from a different device, so it worked. I don't know what. That was the same issue that I had with the last Zoom too. So sorry for the late reply. I'm Shukriya. I'm the vice president of International Teen Network. Unfortunately, we do not have Alia, but here I am, and she was so excited that I will talk about it. So as an immigrant itself, when we came to US, we had a lot of challenges, and the reason we traveled from other countries to here, like my country, Afghanistan, was to get educated, because in our country, unfortunately, after the Taliban took over, there is no school, no college, no job, no nothing for women, and it's so sad. And we are here to get benefits from educating and that stuff, and we here, and the biggest problem and the challenge that we faced was language and getting help and how to start and where to go, because when we came here we cannot start from this beginning. We had to go to start from high school. So I started from Nahi Chapman as a ninth grade student, and then I come across a lot of other students there, all from different countries with a different background, with different languages, and all they wanted was to get educated. But unfortunately, just because we didn't know the language, we didn't know where to get the help from. So I saw a lot of students, my friends, they left the school just to go and work, especially the ones who came without their family and they were alone here. So they were like, I don't have enough money to go to college, or if I go to school, I cannot get the money from any other places, so I have to go to work and so I can live here. So it was so sad. And then I met Alia and her family in International Institute with one of the programs that they had there. And they were so nice. And the reason we got connected was the language, Turkish, which they are from Turkey and we speak Turkish. So that was so nice. And we kind of felt like we have a connection between each other. And we met there. And I talked to Alia about this, about how sad it is that my friends, students, they came and travel from different countries to here at the end just because they do not have enough information. They don't have someone to help them how to go to college or how to get help from. They're just leaving school just to go to work and so they can live. And we talked about this with her mom too, and we came up with the idea that if we can help them, which that made us to make international teen network. And we talked about it with a lot of other people. And when I talked about it with my friend, they were so happy. And we focus on high school students, especially the ones who are going to college. So we're helping them to know about more about college, how to get the scholarships, how to choose a major, and that major goes, how long it goes, because it's very different in different countries. In my country, for example, we didn't have to pay for colleges. So when students came here, they are like, oh, we don't have to pay for college. But unfortunately, it is not true here. Even if it's public college, public university, you have to pay. And for that, you have to have a scholarship, because we cannot offer that, especially as an immigrant from a different country. So when they do not know the ways to get help or get the scholarships and talk about it, they just leave and go to get a job, and they leave their dreams behind. And it's very sad for me. So we came up with International Teen Network, and it's pretty new. That's the reason I didn't have a lot of slides and to talk about it. We just had one of our meetings, and one of spoke Nahi Chapman, and there was students. We came and we talked to them, and they were so happy, and they said that it can help us a lot. And we focus on the high school students, depending on what kind of problems they have or what they want to talk about or what they need help in. We can also help the college student or the ones who's going to high school or need helps. And for now, and you can go to our website to get more information. That was pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, and sorry if I have a accent, I'm just working on my English. It's been 3 years that I'm here, so it's very a big honor for me to come here and talk to you guys and be part of this to help other students, because I really feel that when I came here, I didn't know and I didn't have that kind of programs, that kind of people to help, and I didn't know where to get them. So I really feel how it's hard it is and how important it is in the education. After I met Alia and the programs that I went, which one of them were the AMSL program that I went, that they just present, and I was there in one of the pictures, the slides, and that helped me a lot. That helped me to get more scholarship for my college, and that helped me to know more about the careers. And I'm really happy that we are doing this for the people, especially for immigrants.
Thank you so much. And never apologize for your accent, by the way. As somebody who has an accent as well, never apologize for that. And you are in the right company here. I think a lot of people who are here, they really understand what it's like to not speak English as English being your second language. So in a nutshell, the International Teen Network, they are pairing the second generation immigrants with the newly arrived immigrants, especially refugees, who can speak the same language so that they can help each other to navigate from peer to peer. So if you're interested, if your kids are interested, you're interested in joining that program, please let them know. If you I don't see any other questions in the Q&A, so I'll give people their 5 minutes back, unless if any of the speakers have 1 minute of closing remarks, because there's no Q&A. Everybody can have 1 minute of closing remarks, then we can end it.
Yeah. And one of our main point is to connect the first generations with the immigrants. And when I talked to Alia about this, and she was like, she got unconnected with the first generation because she was the first generation with the immigrants, and because she doesn't have a lot of Turkish friends in the area that she lives in. And there is no other people from Turkey. She didn't have a immigrant friend, and the reason we got connected was the same language that we speak, even though we're from different countries and with the different languages. So we came up with this, and she was like, it will be really good and powerful idea to connect first generation and immigrants together, and they will get to know and see each other, their people, they have been there and they made it. It will also help them to stay strong, because it's really hard, especially mentally, that you came to a different country and you feel like you know nothing, especially if you do not know the language, and you're like, everybody knows how to live, they've been doing these things for their entire life. So I felt like if they see people from their country that speaks their language, they can also help them. That will help them a lot.
Thank you. Krishan, any closing remarks?
Honestly, that I can think of, we all have similar missions or organizations, and I would love to collaborate in any way we can, because it's important that we start molding the future generations, whether in high school, college, or early in their career, so we can have a bigger, prosperous St. Louis. St. Louis does have a lot of potential to grow. It's far from hitting its peak. But there's some promising with the new buildings over in Boeing, and seeing where things are going, hopefully in St. Louis, to see where it's going to go 10, 20 years from now.
Thank you. Lina, any closing remarks?
Yes, certainly. First of all, I would like to say thank you again for having me here. It was great pleasure to share my thoughts here in this platform. With that said, I would say that being Indian American, I have felt St. Louis at home. Initially, it did take time, but then once I learned everything St. Louis had to offer and the communities here, both the immigrants and also the local people here, they all embrace you. You just have to reach out. So don't be shy to network. Don't be shy to share what you have, your culture, or where you come from. And once again, whether it is professional or any other kind of, as a startup business owner, if you need to reach out, I'm happy to help. I also want to say that as the Asian American Chamber has expanded and we are getting more members, we're also open to understanding what more is needed. We also collaborate very closely with the African American Chamber, with Hispanic Chamber, and RBC, and so many other chambers as well. I know within the St. Louis Mosaic Group, there's also St. Louis Spouses Group, which is also great value to the immigrant community. But yeah, as immigrants, I think we all need to be together and work together as well. Thank you once again.
Thank you. And Jeffrey, closing remarks?
Mine is just to say thank you so much, Christian, Shukra, Lena, and Annie, for the great work in putting this together. Special thanks also for Mosaic Projects for all the good work you guys do to bring us together and help us to connect with the St. Louis. I think my appeal is just one, is to appeal to everyone to export. The world is becoming very global. Just find out ways to build your global experience, either watching movies, reading books, traveling if you can, attending to multicultural events, hosting them in your workplace. If your school are able to do it, help organize those. That's help the community to be more embracing different cultures, and especially for the young people in the next 10, 20 years, they will be leaders. If they are not exposed very early, then they will be very biased because of their closed information. So exposing that would be good. The last part is actually us immigrants. Let's tell our own story. Nobody can tell our story better than we can. Any opportunity comes, you have, whether it's workplace, whether it's school. I like when I see kids sharing about different culture and food stories. Take every opportunity and tell your story better than anybody else. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this informative discussion. I hope that everybody got a thing or two, and I hope that there is going to be more room for collaboration and working together and empowering each other. The presentation will be sent to you sometime between now and Friday, and the recording as well will be posted on our YouTube and on our Facebook and website as well. We appreciate each and every one of you, the speakers today, the participants. I think, you guys stayed on, so I appreciate that. Our next STL 101 will be coming up soon in August. Stay tuned to that. We'll be sending the newsletters. If you have not subscribed to the Mosaic newsletters, consider yourself subscribed, because I'm going to add you to that since you signed up for this. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you, and thank you so much to have me here. And I'm